Hey guys, coming straight to you from Miss Thorpe's house. And Rory and Rocky, hi, want to say hello. But why we're really here today is because we need to talk about how we did on our interim test number 1, our assessment, and the questions that we missed. So I'm going to turn this around so you can see which questions we're talking about. So right now, we have already reviewed all the questions and talked about the answers, but we're going to talk about question number 3. Okay, so if you can see here, question 3 says, which are the correct latitude and longitude coordinates for Kinshasa? And if you look, you see that it's right here in Africa. So the first thing that you're going to do is look for your latitude. So if that is 0, which is the equator, we know that it is, let's see, this is 20 degrees south, and it's about that far down. So 10 degrees south would be about there. So it's about 5 degrees south because it's south of the equator. Anything up here would be north, anything down here would be south. So it's south of the equator. So you can already eliminate A and D because those say 5 degrees north. So then the second thing is we're going to look at our line of longitude, the 0 degrees line, which is the prime meridian. Anything on this side is west, anything on this side is east. So as you can see, it's east of the prime meridian. And this line here says 40, right? So this would be 20. So this is almost to the 20, but not quite. So it's 15 degrees east. So the answer for 3 is B. Okay? All right, good job. You understand it, Rocky? All right, he's got it. Good job, boy. All right, so next up, we've got question number 6. All right, so question number 6 says, which direction do you travel from Chicago, Illinois to St. Louis, Missouri? Now, Illinois and Missouri are states. On this map, you don't see any of the states, just the cities. Okay? So the first thing that you can do is you can eliminate or cross out Illinois and Missouri because we're just looking for Chicago to St. Louis. And you're going from Chicago to St. Louis, which means you're starting in Chicago, that's the first place, and you're going to St. Louis, which is the second place. So you got to find Chicago on the map. All right, so we're finding Chicago on the map, which is up here, and we're going to St. Louis, which is down here. So if we go from Chicago to St. Louis, we're going to go this way first and then this way. So our compass rose tells us that if we go down, that is south, and if we go to the left, that is east. So the answer then is southwest. Sorry, I accidentally circled the wrong one, which would be C. Because obviously we're going south. We're not going north at all. We're going south, and then we're going west from Chicago to St. Louis. All right, so that was question number 6. The other question that quite a few of you guys missed is question number 7, and I think it was a vocabulary issue. So the first thing is, let's read the question. How might shippers in Liverpool modify their environment to improve the ocean trade? So a shipper is someone who, what do you think? Yeah, goes on a ship, right? So someone on a boat. So we have people that are in boats, and they're in Liverpool. So the reason that we have the map here is we can see that Liverpool is right here in England. So they're modifying their environment, which means they're changing their environment to improve ocean trade. So let's think about how can they change their environment in order to help get boats in and out of here so that they can go to other places. So if they build a bridge from England to Ireland, right, they build a bridge, is that going to help boats? No, of course not. Building a bridge isn't going to help boats. B, building ports and natural harbors. Well, maybe we don't know what ports are, or we maybe don't know what harbors are. C, build an underground tunnel to France. If we build an underground tunnel, is that helping people with boats? No. Okay. And then choice D, build a road to Scotland. Building a road, again, not building anything that would help the boats. Okay, so the answer is B, build ports and natural harbors. Because a port is an area where ships can land, and a harbor is where it comes in like this. Okay, so you see Liverpool, it also comes in. These are harbors. Ports are where the boats can come in. So if they build more harbors and they build more ports, right, then they can have more places that the boats can come in. Sorry, it's kind of shaky. All right, so that is number 7. Number 8 we also missed, so let's read that. Which of the following demographic indicators would most likely be associated with a less developed country? So remember, a less developed country is what we said was a poorer country and a lower standard of living. So think of countries like India, think of countries that have a population pyramid where they don't have a high life expectancy. They don't. So you already know that high life expectancy is something that's in a more developed country, so you could eliminate that. What else is in a more developed country? Yeah, high per capita GDP because they have more money. And then high literacy rate. Do they have more education in a more developed country? Yeah. So the thing that you would find in a less developed country would be high infant mortality rates, because that means that lots of babies are dying, which is very sad. But in poor countries, more babies die because they don't have good healthcare systems. Okay, so the answer for number 8 is also B. And the last question that we want to talk about that was a missed question for us was number 10. Which statement most accurately explains the population pyramid above? So let's zoom in on this. We see the population pyramid above has a pretty good life expectancy. There's a lot of people that are living past 75, right? Pretty good. You see that it's not increasing. There's not a lot of babies being born, but it's not really decreasing, right? So it looks like this is a pretty good country. Maybe this could be US, or maybe it could be Canada. But it's a country that looks like it's more developed. So this population pyramid most likely represents a more developed country. Well, we just said that, so maybe that's it. B, less developed country. Well, they have a high life expectancy, so it's not less developed. Country with high infant mortality. Can we tell that from the population pyramid? No. Anyway, if it was a high infant mortality, that would be less developed. And a country with a low per capita GDP. And if they had a low per capita, they would also be less developed. So the answer is A, a more developed country, and we can infer that because they have a high life expectancy up here, which would be a more developed country. And I just realized I actually gave you an extra question because 10 is really the one I wanted to talk about, but that's okay because 9 goes along with it. 10, which statement most accurately explains the population pyramid? So does the country, and because C, 9, and 10 go together, does the country have a rapidly growing population? No, they're not having a ton of babies. Does the country have a high infant mortality rate? Again, we talked about that, can't tell. Does the country have more children than adults? No, doesn't have more children. Does the country most likely have a high literacy rate? Well, if they're a more developed country, then of course they're going to have a higher literacy rate because they're going to have more schools, right? So the answer for 10 is D. So 9 and 10 go together. The population pyramid is a more developed country, and it would most likely have a high literacy rate. All right, awesome. Hope you guys understand those questions, and now it's time to do the retest.